everyone. I am Maria Devi Hatiko Elkamel, a BS Fisheries student, and in this video, we will be discussing the water physical and biological properties.
Water has several important physical properties. Although these properties are familiar because of the omnipresence of water, most of the physical properties of water are quite atypical. Given the low molar mass of its constituent molecules, water has unusually large values of viscosity, surface tension, heat of vaporization, and entropy of vaporization, all of which can ascribe to extensive hydrogen bonding interactions present in liquid water. The first water physical property is temperature. Water temperature is measured as the degree or intensity of thermal energy in water. In the United States, the Fahrenheit scale is used to measure temperature, where water freezes at 32 degrees and boils at 212 degrees. However, scientists usually use the centigrade or Celsius scale, where water freezes at 0 degree and boils at 100 degrees. Our planet is sometimes called the Goldilocks planet because Earth doesn't experience huge and rapid changes in temperature. Goldilocks planet means Earth is not too hot for all the water to evaporate away and not too cold for all the water to freeze. Natural factors influencing temperature. The first natural factor influencing temperature is the geographic area. Geographic area has two regions, the tropical and temperate. Waterways reflect the surrounding climate. Therefore, if the climate is warm all year, the water is generally warm. On the other hand, waterways in colder climates tend to change more throughout the year. Second is seasons. In the Philippines, we have two seasons, the dry season and the wet season. In season, air temperature affects water temperature. During wet season, the water is cold. In contrast, the water may be warm during dry season. Sources of water is the third natural factor influencing the temperature. Waterways fed by snowmelt will be cold during the spring and summer, while waterways fed by hot springs may keep water warm throughout the year. Fourth one is the channel shape. Because stream water heats up from the sun and from the contact with the warmer earth, a narrow deep stream will be cooler than a wide shallow stream if all factors are equal. The last natural factor influencing temperature is vegetation and shading. Streams that receive shade from riparian vegetation may have cooler temperatures than those are exposed to more sunlight. The second physical property of water is turbidity. Material suspended in the water affects light penetration and the degree to which it is blocked. In short, turbidity is a measurement of how much suspended material is in the water and indicates water clarity. Suspended solids can have a great effect on water bodies. They can reduce the amount of dissolved oxygen and raise surface water temperature. They can also affect fish vision, spawning, and breathing. The third is the water movement and water density. Unlike most substances on Earth, the solid form of water is less dense than the liquid form. In other words, ice floats. If ice didn't float, our oceans would have filled up with ice billions of years ago, and life on Earth, if it even existed, would look very, very different. Stream flow or discharge is the amount of water that flows past a specific point in a stream over a specific period of time. We have two components of stream flow, the velocity and the volume. Velocity refers to how fast the water is moving, and volume refers to the amount of water in the stream. When we combine the two, we can determine the energy of the water. Water's energy greatly affects the shape of the stream as well as its biological and chemical characteristics. The last water physical property is light. Water is a great conductor of sound, but not light. Most sunlight that hits a lake or ocean is absorbed within the first 20 to 50 meter depth. Light intensity varies with time of day and season, and its rate of absorption depends on the amount of dissolved particles in the water column. Sunlight contains many different colors, which are separated in a rainbow. Water mostly reflects rather than absorbs blue light waves, which is why the sky and water bodies are blue. Summary on selected physical properties of water. Molar mass 18.0151 grams per mole. Melting point is 0 degrees Celsius. Boiling point 100 degrees Celsius. Maximum density at 3.98 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. Density at 25 degrees Celsius is 0.99701 grams per cubic centimeter. Vapor pressure at 25 degrees Celsius is 23.75 torr. Heat of fusion at 0 degree Celsius is 6.010 kilojoules per mole. Heat of vaporization at 100 degrees Celsius is 40.65 kilojoules per mole. Heat of formation at 25 degrees Celsius is negative 285.8 kilojoules per mole. Entropy of vaporization at 25 degrees Celsius is 118.8 joules per degree Celsius mole. Viscosity is 0.8903 centipoise. Surface tension at 25 degrees Celsius is 71.97 dynes per centimeter. The last water property is the biological properties, and the first biological property is the plants. Aquatic plants are photosynthetic organisms adapted to life in the water. Land plants are mostly vascular plants, having roots that take up and transport water and nutrients to leaves where the photosynthesis occurs. Many aquatic plants have simpler structure. These macrophytes do not need to transport water since they live in the water, and they generally can take nutrients directly from the water. The type and form of aquatic plants depends on the water's depth and whether the water is flowing or still. The first type of aquatic plants are suspended and attached algae. Suspended and attached algae are free-floating plants include large true plants like duckweed that float on the surface and microscopic algae that live suspended in the water itself. These algae may exist as single cells or long filaments. In lakes and ponds, most of these algae are suspended in the water. In moving water, algae are generally found attached to rocks or other substrate. Microscopic algae are the primary food for microscopic lake animals like zooplankton and other important food for many aquatic macroinvertebrates in rivers and streams. The second type of aquatic plants are emergent and floating and submerged plant. Aquatic plants are adapted to living in environment where the roots may be submerged by water for an extended time. Some benefits of these plants include creation of important habitat and food sources for wildlife, filtering or trapping soil and nutrients during runoff, and absorption of nutrients. The second biological property of water is animal. Under animal is the zooplankton. Zooplankton are microscopic animals that are found in most lakes, reservoirs, and ponds. Most can be seen as tiny dots moving in the water, but they are most easily observed with a microscope. Common groups of freshwater zooplankton include tiny crustaceans such as copepods and placoderms. These animals reproduce rapidly and are such effective grazers that they can consume almost all the algae in a water body. The second is aquatic macroinvertebrates. Aquatic means water. Macro means big or big enough for us to see without using microscope. And invertebrate means without a backbone. So, an aquatic macroinvertebrate is a water bag that we can see with our naked eye. The fourth one is fish. Fish are important members of aquatic ecosystems and indicators of water quality. Different species of fish have adapted to different water quality conditions. Factors that influence fish health include dissolved oxygen, turbidity, nutrient enrichment, and pH. And the last one is other invertebrates. Mammals, birds, amphibians, and etc. can also help to balance the aquatic ecosystem. The third and last biological property of water is bacteria. From a water quality perspective, we are mostly concerned about the role bacteria play in diseases. Bacteria and related single-cell organisms are increasingly recognized for their importance in decomposing organic material, processing minerals and nutrients, and in some cases, converting carbon dioxide to new plant material. To sum up all the unique properties of the water, 1. It is the only natural substance found in all three physical states at the temperatures that naturally occur on Earth. 2. Ice is less dense than water. 3. Water has a very high melting and boiling point compared to other similar molecules. 4. It is called the universal solvent because it is capable of dissolving so many substances. 5. Water has a high specific heat capacity. 6. Surface tension. Surface tension is a property that means the surface of water does not want to break. 7. Capillary action. Similarly to surface tension, this revolves around the idea that molecules of the water stick together.